Hello everyone, this is Jimmy and welcome to episode 35 of Project Ozone 3. I think today it's time that we're going to start going into automation of the various components for the Infinity Catalyst and ultimately the creatives. So let's see, creative. There's a handful of creative items available in this pack to craft, and generally speaking, they're all part of this chaos plank. So they're the ones near the center here. Let's see, a tank, a compressor, an energy cell, a turbine steam generator, coolant port. I'm curious why you need well, whatever. A RF generator, a mana pool, an ember source, a creative mill, cobble generator, and last but not least, a creative chest, which just, I assume anyways, has, every item in it for all practical intents and purposes. So, uh, let's see. Let's start with how to make these. Most of these items, that's one of the harder ones. Let's start with one of the easier ones, creative tank. Most of these recipes, well, all of these recipes use infinity ingots. Infinity ingots are composed of a bunch of stuff, but mostly it's infinity catalysts. And it has a block form, right? So our goal is to make 9 infinity ingots, and that gives us access to infinite infinity blocks. That's a lot of infinities. Um, so, yeah, let's start by trying to make the Infinity Catalyst. Now, actually, before we do that, let's take a quick second. Let's talk about what our goals are in the pack. I think there's 3 ways to finish the pack. One, the hardest, is to finish literally every quest. So the quest lines ultimately conclude with all the creatives, and there's a Chaos Plane quest in here somewhere. Basically, do this all the quests, which includes this, um, including stuff like the Chaos Plank and all the grindy quests behind it. I'll go right off the bat and say I'm not doing every quest. A lot of these quests are literally just like, here I'll pick one that annoys me the most, the Ram Trophy. You have to do this like random RNG thing in the Twilight Forest for hours to try to like get this stupid ram to spawn to do something. I don't even care about it. We're not touching that. It adds 0 gameplay value, and why are you stopped? Oh, anyways, yeah. Okay, so next reasonable way of completing the quest is just to make all the creatives. I should not have searched in there. And by all the creatives, I really just mean the creative chest. The issue I see with this is that this is a lot of work, and like, especially at the end, I'm kind of afraid that it'll take me like 40 hours of playtime and it'll generate like 1 episode worth of content. Namely because this recipe, even if you automate like the subcomponents of it, you're going to spend a lot of time automating very, very small individual components. So if we look at chaos ingots, which take chaos catalyst, like we're going to have to automate the embers exchange tablet just to make single items. And while that's doable, it's both slow and a lot of work that I don't want to do. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being lazy. Anyways, so that's another way we can say we're done. And the third way to say we're done is just to make all the creatives with the exception of the creative chest. So that's all the stuff you see in here. We still have to make a handful of chaos ingots because the creative generator takes chaos ingots. But yeah, the thing about chaos ingots too is that they don't have a block form, so you can't duplicate them. Oh, and the chaos plank, while it is a block, it's apparently coded as a tile entity, so you can't duplicate it either, or it's blacklisted, or the other. I don't know. Anyways, I suppose give me your thoughts on it. Personally, my thoughts are leaning towards we'll do everything short of Chaos Plank stuff. So, we'll build all the stuff in here. And then we'll just move on to another pack where there are more fun challenges to do that take less time and make for better content. But ultimately, just because, well, I suppose I am ultimately in charge, but I'm willing to hear you guys out. If there's high demand for this ultra late game stuff, I'll consider it. Even though personally, I think it's not very fun at all. All right, whatever. Enough of my complaining. Let's go back to the project at hand, Infinity Catalysts. So this recipe looks, well, maybe it doesn't look all that bad. Basically, everything except these central 5 items have EMC values. Or can be made from ingots. So or from blocks rather. So really, we only care about these central 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items. Of these 5, we can either work from easiest to hardest or hardest to easiest. I'm feeling lazy today. Let's go easiest to hardest. So easiest, I guess, is creative essence. That's literally just a crafting recipe, and there's block forms of both insanium, and I'm pretty sure we can animate the crux. Let's make sure, I guess. I think it was it Dragon Egg I was using? Calculating crafting recipes now is very slow, so that kind of sucks. Anyways, Dragon Egg Crux and a Mob Imprisonment tool. Yeah, so we can animate the cruxes. Let's see, what were we doing? Creative essence. We can animate, a block of insanium. In fact, let's do that now. Why do I have 200 blocks of insanium? Oh, because I've already animated it. All right, well, let's not animate another one. Then we'll put both of these back in the spawner. And obviously just infusion crystals and craft it together. All right, 1 done. Whew. 4 to go. Next easiest, Endus Pearls. Once again, this is just composed of all components that have an EMC value. So Endstone, Ender Pearls, Neutronium, another star. Funny thing is, because we got the Book of Knowledge, the Neutronium, normally you have to make the neutron collector and collect piles of neutrons for decades. We don't have to do that anymore. We just have Neutronium. Woohoo! All right, so that's the next easiest one. But I suppose we're not quite done just because we have the components, right? We have to actually put them together. So let's look about automating the ultimate crafting table. To do so, let's actually rewind a bit. Let's automate the process of crafting these crafting tables because it's a bit involved. To automate the extended crafting stuff in general, we need a automation something. Automation interface. So how does this recipe look? Enhance Ender Ingot and a bunch of black iron stuff. Alright, so part of the reason I started this up is because black iron slates apparently have to be made in the metal press, or manually, but I'm not making them manually. So, yeah, we're making black iron slates. The rest of this, Enhance Ender Ingots, has a block form. And they're pretty easy to make in this thing, the New Age QED, Ender Crafter. Okay, so yeah, step 1, let's automate our automation interface. Wow, that's a tongue twister. Crafting Ender Stars. These do have a block form, so we can duplicate them, but as far as I can tell, we don't need to because we only use them to craft Enhanced Ender Ingots. And once we craft the 9 of these, we'll never use them again. So I think it's fine just to make the 1 batch and call it good enough. That leads us to Enhanced Ender Ingots. Again, once we have the 9, we can animate the block. So initially I was going to try to auto-craft automation interfaces, but then I remember hearing there's a small issue with it, and I think that'll become apparent in just 1 second. So it's in the 5x5. I'm going to craft a stack of them, and when you craft it, for some reason, the last one, if you craft 1, basically you get a crafting unit left behind. And when you try to automate this crafting unit ends up, the last craft ends up sticking in the crafting table, and you can't get it out, and it makes auto-crafting it impossible. So instead of trying to auto-craft it, I'll just craft a stack, and if 64 isn't enough, well, I'll be very sad later. So anyways, now that we have that, we can, let's get a tier 1 crafting table. so that we can automate tier 2 crafting tables. Right, so tier 2 crafting tables are made in the tier 1 crafting table, and yada yada yada. So to automate these extended crafting tables, just because it's 3x3 doesn't mean like we can't automate it just like a regular crafting table with the tower of whatever's over there. You still need to place the crafting table. On top of it, place an automation interface, and then you need to feed the items and some power into the automation interface. My preferred way of doing it in this pack is with an item translocator, a buffer crate. We need the other side of the translocator, and a ME interface on top of the buffer crate. You put the pattern in the ME interface, and you have to set it to blocking mode. If you don't set it to blocking mode, it won't work. Then with this, you in the config, you want, let's see, I want auto. I want none of those. I want power. So let's see where I have power. Hey, right here. All right, so let me hook up power and the network to our stuff here. So this is how I'm wiring it for now. We're sending power to the automation interface, connection to the ME interface, and there's an item conduit that runs from the automation interface on extract back up to the ME interface on insert. So now if you look at this, it says check table X recipe. That's because we don't have a recipe saved. To put a recipe in here, all you have to do is put the items in here, but don't take the final component out, and click the save recipe button. And what that'll do is that'll craft it and it'll save the recipe here. And now what we can do is, wow, do you know you can type advanced crafting all in one hand with one hand? My push to talk key is on my mouse. So when I'm push to talking, I'm typing with my left hand. And there's not many words you can only type left-handed without, reach. Anyways, enough of that tangent. So when we request one of these, you might even have to be pretty quick to see it, but we'll see the items flow into here, and the result, yeah, it's already done. The result is already back in the ME system. Oh no, the end in advanced you have to hit with a thumb. Anyways, so now we can make tier 2 crafting tables. Now that we have tier 1, or making tier 2 crafting tables automated, we can do a similar thing to automate tier 3 crafting tables and tier 4. So I'm going to do that. Somewhat annoyingly, we can't automatically import the recipe for the elite crafting table. It only imports the first 9 items. It won't like stack the however many elite components together. So anyways, I'm pretty sure these are all the right items, so we can build the recipe by hand, let this fill out the output slot, and then I just have to fill in the input slots appropriately. All right, save that recipe. Oh, I was wondering, I swear I clicked it. Anyways, save that recipe, come back to here, put it in here, and just to make sure I have the recipe right, save the recipe that crafts the wand, and let's go request a few more. So elite crafting table. Let's ask for 2, because we'll need 2 to make the next tier. Oh, we're out of black iron slates. Hold on. This machine will be making black iron slates for the foreseeable future. Alright, 2. And that lag spike there really shows why we can't use crafting cards, right? You don't want the A system automatically trying to kick off crafts and causing that much lag. So anyways, we now see items flowing into here, which, we were still too slow. If we were fast enough, we would have seen it populate into the grid, but we were too slow. And now we have elite crafting tables. So with these, we can now make ultimate crafting tables. Oh yeah, ultimate crafting tables aren't made from elites. They're just made on their own. Awesome. They take these crystal clusters. I really hope. Let's see, we don't have one. All right, let me go craft one, and I really hope that they're not tile entities, so that we can, wand of animation them. All right, here goes nothing. Ooh, thank God. Same deal for the ultimate crafting table. And now we can auto-craft all of our crafting tables. It's a good start. Let's see. We're going to need a lot of these, so give me 10. Ah! Faster! Alright, this is hopefully enough. Man, this lag is 3 short. Dang it! This lag is killing me, but not much we can do about it now. Alright, let's see if we can be quick enough to watch items populate here. There we go. Oh, I forgot to set these to blocking mode. If you don't set these to blocking mode, they work fine unless you try to craft items more than a stack at a time. Or you try to craft items that don't stack. But anyways, they craft with items that don't stack. But anyways, there we go. There's our 10 crafting tables. Alright, so now that we've automated crafting tables, we can now use those automated crafting tables to craft things. And we're going to do endist pearls first. So it's basically the exact same setup as doing this, except, you do it on a tier 4 crafting table. Wow, I was autopiloting and I almost did things wrong. So, whoops, I didn't mean to open that. Endist pearls, we don't want to craft on demand because I think we need a fair number of these. Maybe not. I guess it's not the worst to autocraft these on demand. But I still don't want to autocraft them on demand because they're easy enough to just background craft. So, less crafting tasks that the A system has to see, the better, right? Because we see how much lag there is whenever it has to calculate one. So, to do so, we just have to expose all these items to the crafting or to the automation interface and let it pick which ones it wants to use. So my plan for doing that is just, let's see, take a interface, put it here, turn off that, and then grab, let's see, what were the items we needed? Ender pearls, endstone, nether star, neutronium. I want regular endstone. And neutronium ingots. And I'll tell the A system, expose these items here. I'll come here and input the recipe. Sure. Save the recipe, but I want to make a change to the config here. I want auto insert, I think, will automatically insert items from the inventory to the direction specified. So I think I want up auto insert, and I want auto eject, auto extract up as well. And it's very important you leave smart insert on. Smart insert means the automation interface will search, the inventory it's connected to for items it needs to make. So let's go ahead and hook all of this up. I can just run cables here. Will be ugly and run cables above ground, I guess. If it bothers me enough, I can, reroute the cables below ground later. But so what we should observe is, yeah, this is automatically pulling in items as it, it's like right now, all right, I have room for nether stars. So you'll see it pull in nether stars one at a time. Once there's a full stack of nether stars here, you'll see it start pulling in ender pearls. And it'll just passively do this forever. And I'm totally okay with it passively doing this forever because the only thing this costs, right, is EMC. So, I'll happily let it run in the background. I think endist pearls also have a use. I think they can be used like ender pearls, but hold on. I'm gonna go far away from this because I feel like it does something unwanted too, like explodes on contact or something. Anyways, let's so you can definitely throw it. Ah, it definitely does explode on contact. And I guess it eats a black hole. I question why one would ever want to do that. But, I mean, it does it. I'm glad I didn't do that in my base. Like, part of me thought it would do something bad. I feel like I've thrown them before, which is why I knew that. But now we know. Alright, so anyways, with that out of the way, this will just be crafting Endless Pearls until the end of days. And what I can do is, like, let's see, how can I turn this off? Is there any way to make this respond to redstone? Nope. I guess if I ever have enough, I can, like, click this button or something. Oh, no, I can't click that button. I can click this button, and eventually, you know, the output slot here will fill up, and it'll stop working. But for now, you know, we'll just let it craft Endless Pearls. All right, so that covers 3 of 5, right? We've done creative essences, which we can request, Endless Pearls, which are being crafted. Now let's move on to the, let's see, which of these is Cosmic Meatballs and Ultimate Stew. One is easier than the other. Yeah, Ultimate Stew looks pretty easy. So of these, a lot of these items have EMC values, but some don't. Let's see, beans, spicy greens, tomato, and potato. So these 3 we can just grow. This we have to cook. Darn it. All right. I guess we just have to pick which of these recipes we want to do. All right, looking at these, no one option is better than the other. The only difference is which vegetable you use here, and none of them have an EMC value. So we're going to have to add mustard seeds, garlic, onion, and spinach to our farm, and that'll provide the raw ingredients in addition to the black pepper can come from, and the cooking oil will come from EMC, but everything else we have to grow on the farm. A couple ways to get the seeds required for this. Wait, mustard. I see. Mustard seed grows mustard seeds. We can either mutate the crops, which, you know, that process sucks. Or we can buy them from the market, and that's what we're going to do. The currency is rack, and it costs like 2 rack each, right? So spinach, yeah, 2 rack each. That's way easier than mutating the crops. All right, so all the plants we need are now growing in our farm, and my plan is we'll have an ME interface here. Let's see. Don't show on terminal, and we'll have the interface provide items to a crafter. Let's go input there and glowstone. To transfer a stack at a time. And what's happening is this crafter, first it makes the mustard. That's, you juice the mustard seeds, and then it can craft the spicy greens. And I have some of these slots locked, like the first however many slots are locked, so that no matter what, there'll be ingredients for it. Now these spicy greens, let's see, what do we do with these? We have to use them in concert with some other stuff to make, what am I going with this? The stew? Alright, so is there anything else in the stew? The one thing that scares me about the stew is that there's a pot. I wonder if it consumes the pot. But I guess we'll solve that problem later if we come to it. So, is there any other plant we need to grow? It looks like we need to grow tomatoes and beans. Is that right? Potatoes have EMC, so... Alright, let me go also add tomatoes and beans to our farm then. I've actually used up every single plot on my farm, somewhat surprisingly. But that's not a problem because a lot of these things we no longer need seeds for, right? Like gold. We can, we have our EMC store providing us with all the gold we need. So we can replace that. I just want to pick things that definitely have an EMC value. I'm pretty sure bronze does too. Yeah, bronze ingots actually do blocks of bronze. They do. Okay. So yeah, we don't need you. So with those last few things added to the farm, let's revisit this. So now we have spicy greens being made here. I put a storage bus on this crafter that's partitioned only for spicy greens and extract only. Then I have another ME interface up here that has all the ingredients, with the exception of the pot. So it's, let's see, Ultimate Stew is 9 total ingredients, minus a pot is 8, which is convenient because 8 fits in one interface. And now all we have to do is, let's see, save the recipe. That should craft 1. And then what is our config here? I want to copy these configs. Up, up, on, on. Up, up, on. And what should happen is, let's help it along by dumping some of these other ingredients in there. Cool. So it's crafting, yeah. Is it stuck or is it... What's happening exactly? Am I making ultimate stews? No, I only have the 3, so why... You should be auto-extracting the product up. Why are you not doing so? If I take it out, it automatically does it. 1 second. Alright, I'm not sure what the problem was. I just clicked the clear recipe and save recipe button again, and it's content with it. So anyways, what it's doing is it's crafting these ultimate stews and automatically shoving them back into the ME interface, which has 1 slot left to accept them. It's a little bit slower than it crafts a little bit faster than it can eject, but that's not a problem with me. So the fact that the pot doesn't get used up is, as we're just using it to our advantage. We just leave a slot for the pot. All right, cool. So that should take care of ultimate stews. So we can check another one off the list. All right, next up, cosmic meatballs. I'm intentionally saving the stupid singularity for last. First thing to consider, is this more than 9 item types? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Well, last I checked, 14 is greater than 9. So we might have to get a little clever here. Let's think. All right, I have a plan. It'll be easier to show you than tell you. So let's, when it becomes relevant, it'll come up. But anyways, let's look at these materials and see which ones we have to farm. EMC, 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 EMC. All right, so the first, however many, basically everything except the bottom row has an EMC value. Impide is there. Looks like the only way to get it is as a drop. So we're going to have to farm that mob. Do any of these fish have an EMC value? I really hope at least one of them does. Ground fish. All right, cool. Or raw fish. All right, so that we can skip the fish. Meat doesn't, venison doesn't, and gas meat doesn't. So we have impide, meat, venison, and gas meat. These are the 4 mobs that we're going to have to farm. So I think we're going to add a couple wood farms, and devote 1 each to each of those 4 mobs. Hi, imp. I need your hide. Sorry. He didn't drop any. Oh no, he did. Okay, cool. That's good. So imp. The other mobs, let's see, we already have gassed. Venison and meat both come from Twilight Forest. And I was looking at, some armor, and I saw that the gem chest piece here you can fly in forbidden places on it. So I think if I just replace my Terra Steel, goodbye Terra Steel, with gem, I can, we run fast too. Yeah, we still have flight, and I think we can fly in like the Twilight Forest. That does indeed appear to be the case. Well, wait. Oh, it's jetpack style flight. Oh, I have both jetpack style flight and regular flight. Weird. All right. Anyways, I need to find deer and the minnow shrooms. Sorry, deer. Cow trunk. I don't know if deer should drop cow chunks. That doesn't seem right to me. But anyways, venison. Alright, I just went to the Twilight Forest and stole one of the Minotaur spawners. And I'm hoping that it wasn't spawning them in the dungeon for some reason. I think it's because I had already cleared the dungeon. I'm hoping that it'll spawn them here. Might have to be dark. There we go, a few Minotaurs. I don't know how this platform got here. I think Woot builds it for its like mob drop learning stuff. Oops, I guess I'll have to kill. Yeah. Well, they're dead. Let me spawn a few more Minotaurs. Any day now. Anyways, once I get the shards, I'm just going to turn them into more Woot farms. And I think we can wrap up this episode here. So, are you really not going to spawn more? So, yeah, with that, we are... There we go. We are basically done with the cosmic meatballs. A little bit of setup work left, but that just leaves the ultimate singularities to make infinity catalysts. And of course, while it's 1/5 of the number of items needed to make the infinity catalyst, it is way more than 1/5 of the work required. So we'll tackle that. We'll at least begin tackling that next episode. I imagine it'll take more than one episode to complete. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.